Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Now tuning into the Alice and Denise podcast.
Alice and Denise, A-D-A-D, the petite powerhouse, A-D, always 100. You can like it or not. She don't mind pushing buttons all up in your hot spots. Crock pot cooking, damn. And she good looking, hold up, brains and beauty, raising awareness. Certified therapist, but much better prepared with it. Check her portfolio, it's accredited. Like, subscribe, follow, share it. Roll out the red carpet for the queen, and welcome to the show. Peace and blessings. Alice and Denise, A-D-A-D.
Peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. This is the Petite Powerhouse, Alice and Denise, and you are tuned into the Alice and Denise podcast, where we answer your relationship questions live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to everyone who is checking us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch live. We truly appreciate it. I am Alice and Denise, and thank you guys so much for working with me as I change the schedule just for this week. Maybe. We'll see. We're going to check the views. Maybe I will go back to nights. Who knows? But for now, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. To those of you who normally catch me in the afternoons and are choosing to sacrifice a little bit of your evenings to watch right now, I want to say thank you for that as well. So, y'all know how this goes. This is the Alice and Denise podcast. You guys email, you DM, you inbox, you comment your questions, and I get through as many of them as I can in an hour-ish. But we're going to keep it at an hour today because I really need to get back to packing. So that's what we're going to do. So shout out to everybody who's tuning in. Thank you so much. Let us go ahead and get into the questions, shall we? Okay, so the first question I have is an anonymous from Facebook. All right. So here is the first question of the night. Anonymous from Facebook wants to know, in one of your lives, you said you didn't agree with being quote unquote friends first, and why? Again, in one of your lives, you said you didn't agree with being friends first. Why? So first off, to this anonymous person, thank you so much for asking this question, specifically so that I can clarify. There may have been some miscommunication in what I said. So let me say this. I do not have a problem with the friends first mentality if that is what happened organically. What I think you heard me say in a previous video is I don't agree with it in a particular situation. So let me just give two different examples. All right, so you have two people. Let's just say I meet a brother and he thinks I'm cool and I think he's cool, and we just end up gelling and we just become, we're cool, and then we're friends, and maybe we become the best of friends, and we talk about all of these different things, life experiences, relationships, take advice, give advice, whatever. And then let's just say at some point, one or both start to notice that their feelings are changing. They start to notice that their feelings are becoming a little more romantic. They're looking at the friend a different way. They may be seeing them in more of a sexual light than a platonic light. The friend may be coming and talking to them about relationships, which was not a problem before, but now one or both friends are starting to feel some jealousy and they don't know what the heck is going on. In that instance, I don't have a problem with that because those two people, they just ended up connecting. They connected, they met, they started off as friends, and it just evolved into something else. And I think that that's beautiful, and I would never have an issue with that. The scenario that I said I didn't agree with, I'll give an example of that. Two people meet, and I've been in this situation before. Two people meet. One person is interested. One person is already interested romantically, but they decide to find another way into that other person's life by saying that they're just looking for a friend. So the two of them begin speaking and talking and communicating as friends. but only one person is actually seeing the other person as a friend. The other person is already romantically interested. They already want things to go a little bit further. And so they're just waiting for their shot. The reason I don't agree with that is because that is manipulative and it's deceitful. Now, you may say, yeah, but the person, who is romantically interested, they may just be trying to get a feel for the person. The problem with that, though, and, maybe I'm one of the only people who does this, but when I know that I have someone who is a friend, they tend to see a little bit more of me in a friend-like manner. Because, when it's platonic, it's comfortable. And you're bonding and you're learning each other and you're growing with each other. And you feel more comfortable sharing certain things about you that you won't as quickly if you are speaking to someone where there is romantic interest either on one or both sides. And so the reason I don't agree with that is because with that preconceived falsehood of a friendship, because it's not a true friendship, one person is going in as a friend, but the other person is just trying to find another gateway in. Well, let me be their friend first. And this is something that has happened to me. I've had someone who said they were a friend, and I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks into us communicating, and we talked about different things, motivational speaking, just previous stuff. And maybe 2 to 3 weeks in, that person finally, let the cat out of the bag that they were really interested in more. And that wasn't cool. I don't find that to be romantic, because you're putting me in a position where I'm opening up quicker to you because I think we're developing a friendship. But while I think I'm developing a friendship with you, you're basically just taking information to use at will. You're getting more information from me than you probably would if I knew you were interested at the beginning. And that is the scenario that I don't agree with. And, some people really shouldn't do it, because what I noticed, at least, and of course there are some anomalies, but what I notice is there are people who will try that friends first approach, and then they don't understand why they have been permanently friend zoned. And that's something else that you have to watch out for. If the two of you just begin as friends, I have several, instances where I've met brothers over the years and we legitimately just started as friends. There was no interest on his end. There was no interest on mine. We just became friends. If any of those were to evolve into something else, that's cool, because that's just something that happened with time and spiritual influence. But no, I'm not cool with the brother saying that he just wants us to be friends when he's already got a romantic interest, because now you're tapping into a place that you really shouldn't have access to because your motives are wrong. So that's what I actually meant by not agreeing with friends first. So let's see what other people have to say. Peace and blessings, Crit. Thank you. So it's not just me. It is deceitful. I do think it's deception. And that's another good word too, is selfish. Don't put someone in a position like that. If me and you were just developing a friendship, I'm going to kick back. I'm going to relax. We're going to talk. I'm going to hear about some of your stuff. I'm going to share some of my stuff. And I'm thinking that we're developing something platonic. But if you already have a motive, I can't trust you. I can't trust you because you came out the gate being deceitful. Hey, Nana. Good to see you. What's up, Monette? Good to see you, sis. Okay, so that is how I would answer that question. I hope that helps you. And I just encourage anyone who's like that. I know that, I know rejection is hard. So I know that the first thing you think is, I really like him or I really like her. So let me just be your friend. Let me just be his friend. And, maybe down the line, we'll see what happens. But you're already going into it wrong. And at least with me, I don't think I'm the only person like this. There may not be a majority, but with me, I tend to keep you where you start. Like, it's one thing for us to become friends, and then if something evolves, organically, that's a completely different issue. But if you start off saying that we're friends, you're more than likely going to stay there. because you basically set the tone with how brothers set the tone for how they want me, how I end up seeing them. If you want me to see you as a potential romantic interest, that's how I'm going to look at you. And if I don't feel like there's a romantic interest there, I will then say that, I don't feel the same way, and we'll just go from there. But if you have romantic interest and you tell me that, well, no, I'm not looking for anything. I just want to be friends. I just want to, chill and hang out and get to know you and you get to know me. Let's just kick it. You are more than likely going to stay there because you started off with me not looking at you like that. So you're going to hear about the dating escapades. You're going to hear about whoever I had sex with. You're going to hear all of that. And it's going to bother the hell out of you because I'm probably going to leave you in the friend zone. So my point is, be honest. Be honest. Go ahead and tell that person, hey, I'm really interested in you. Hey, I have these feelings for you, and I would like to see if there's a chance that maybe there's something here. And yes, it means that person may say no. But why would you want to end up having a person get close to you, open up to you, trust you, when you know that the foundation itself is a lie? Not from their end, but from yours. You already had another agenda. So I just say stay away from all that. I hope that answers the question. Let's see here. Kendrick says, "What? What's up, Kendrick? It's good to see you." Hey, Gregorio. Good to see you, brother. And Tiffany, what's up? Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right. So let's go on to the next question, shall we? All right. So the next question is... let me go on and get this one out of the way. I'll just go ahead and get this one out of the way. All right, so this is a question that a lot of people have been asking me probably for the last 3 to 6 months, and I have purposely ditched it, and dodged it. But I'll put a few seconds into the energy. So someone anonymous from Facebook said, I haven't heard you mention Kevin Samuels. So, I haven't heard you mention Kevin Samuels. So, all right. So, for those of you who may not know who he is, I will give like a 2-second. He's a brother over on YouTube who is talking about the concept of the high value man. I believe he's showing men how to become high value men, starting from the mental, going out to the exterior. And he also talks to women who say that they want high value men, and he tends to give opinions on why they're not qualified. Now, be fair. His version of high value men is probably no different than the concept from our sister Chloe over on YouTube, who talks about hypergamy. Look that up if you're unfamiliar with the terminology. So I get that there are people surface level who say, well, he's not talking about anything any differently than Chloe talks about hypergamy. My problem, however, is, and the reason I don't discuss him, I don't want to spend energy on this guy, because I understand the concept of views, monetization, and the idea of just sharing his stuff for the sake of y'all saying, oh, we think he's trash. Yeah, but you still gave him a view. You still gave him energy, and YouTube isn't going to separate the views from people who thinks he's trash from the views of people who thinks he's great. So that's why I just don't really want to spend the energy on him. He's got several 100,000 viewers. That's fine. I don't want to give him any additional, because I don't agree with his concept. And the reason that I don't agree with his concept or his mindset and his delivery and his whatever. So most of you who have followed me for any length of time, we've already talked about, me being an empath. A lot of you who watch me are also empaths. And it's a term that is seriously being overused, but there are people who do pick up on other people's energy. There are some people who are using the term empath when they're just highly sensitive. Not that that means you're less than. It just means it's not the same thing. empath versus highly sensitive person, completely different mindsets and processes and whatever. But there are people who can pick up on energy. And we don't have to necessarily be in the same room, or in this case, the same time zone, to pick up on that energy. And the one thing that I know about all true empaths is we all have one particular energy that we just can't stand being around. It doesn't make us uncomfortable. It doesn't weaken us. It actually pisses us off. It makes us irritated. It takes us out of our calm space. All of us have one of those energies. And that energy for me is arrogance. I love confident men. I love confident people. I love when you know your worth and your value. And I love when you go for what you want and you don't allow a failure or a hiccup to deter you. I think that is so attractive. But that's not arrogance. And too many times we think that arrogant people are confident people. And we don't understand that arrogance is just the other side of the coin of insecurity. Confident people don't need to put folk down. Confident people don't feel like they're in competition. Confident people don't feel like they have to categorize and put people in these classes so that they feel superior. That's not what confident people do, but arrogant people will do it every damn day. And so I finally watched one video. That's all I could handle. I watched one video and I could feel the arrogance so thick that I didn't even make it through the video. The second reason I'm not a fan of his is because sometimes you don't really have to watch the people. And this may help those of you who find that you watch a lot of different things, but you pick up all of this energy that you have to get rid of, like you're fine. And then maybe you watch something and now you don't understand why you're in such a bad spot, or why do I feel, tired or cranky or irritable? A lot of times it's because of the energy that you picked up. And one of the ways that you can block that is to pay attention to who's flocking to that energy. Let me stop there before I move forward. Hey, Ellery, good to see you, bro. So, while I know there are exceptions to what I'm about to say, I know two of them myself. I'm talking strictly in terms of majority. Okay, I'm saying that. I know that there are differences, but I'm speaking in terms of majority. The majority of people that I see supporting this brother are other brothers who clearly have issues with women. And they're not focusing, kind of like you guys remember when Mary J. Blige was going through her divorce, right? And that bitch ass that she was engaged or married to decided he wanted to try to come for spousal support, right? Do you remember the men who were supporting what he did? What did most of those men say? A lot of those men said something to the effect of, well, women do it every day. Women go for spousal support every day. So good for him for doing blah, blah, blah. That's projection. There's a lot of brothers who just want to see any woman be put down because it makes them feel better about whatever shitty women they've had in their lives, or whatever shitty women they've created through their behavior, but they won't tell you that. So then they have a brother like this come along and they want to worship him and salute him and show him all this support. But most of those men will say something to the effect of what I just said about Mary J. and that bitch ass she was married to. Oh, well, women do it all the time. A lot of brothers are saying, well, sometimes women just need the rough talk. And a lot of times the truth is the truth. And a lot of times, women just need to know that they're not the hot shit they think they are. See, men who truly love women, let me be more specific. Black men, black kings, black gods who truly love black women won't say shit like that. It's the other ones. It's the ones who just want to see a woman hurt, Because even if that woman doesn't deserve the pain, to him, as long as another woman is hurt in the way another woman hurt him, he feels vindicated and validated. And that's a bullshit mindset. And I see that he has a lot of bullshit mindset men who follow him, which tells me he's got a bullshit mindset. So I don't think about him. I've maybe I've watched half of a video. I've seen quotes of, people who would put quotes of things that he has said in videos they've watched. Not a fan. I don't feel that you have to be arrogant. And I don't trust arrogant people, because arrogant people, like I said, they're usually insecure. They just hide behind shit. They hide behind speaking a certain way. They hide behind talking a certain way. They hide behind dressing a certain way. I don't know a lot of confident men who are also label whores. I don't know a lot of truly confident men who really want to get on a channel every day. Is it 2 hours, 3 hours? Hell, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't watched them. I don't know many confident men who want to get on for 2 hours and continue to talk down to not just women. That's something I need my sisters to understand. He's not just an ass to women. He's an ass to everybody. I just don't see how a confident person really wants to do that every day, Monday through Friday. I don't get the concept, and I don't believe that you're confident if that's something that you're okay doing. So I don't have an opinion about him. I wish people would stop listening to him. I'm not going to say that some of the information that he gives isn't necessarily I'm not going to say the stuff he's saying is a lie based off of the quotes that I've seen. I'm not saying, I'm not saying that at all. I am saying that there's something with delivery, and we have too many brothers who want to try to tell sisters who are more emotional that they're just supposed to accept being spoken to the way a man who is more logical could handle it. I just have a very hard time respecting men who are okay listening to this dude talk to women like she's a damn man. We're not built the way you are. We're not built to receive that information the way that you can receive it. That's one of the things that makes us different. So for you to be okay watching him talk to a woman like he's talking to a dude, that's a red flag for me where he's concerned and where a lot of these brothers are concerned. So that's just my opinion. Khalees says, and what's up, sis? Yep, that energy can attach onto your spirit. It really can. What's up, Nikita? Good to see you, queen. Who is it? Kiana, thank you so much for tuning in. So true, and that's the same energy I picked up viewing his videos. Okay, so at least I know it's not just me. What's up, Miss Honey? Good to see you, sis. So that is my, that's probably the only time I'm going to talk about that man, because like I said, I don't believe in giving energy. I don't want to give energy, thereby views, thereby more money to someone that I don't support. I don't support his mindset. I don't support his delivery. I don't support who he is as an individual. And it's cool that there are people who do. But when I look at the pool of people who do on a majority level, they're not people that I want to fuck with anyway. So I just feel like they've saved me a lot of time. All right. I hope that answers your question. All right. So let's move on. Our third question is let me say this. I put initials. I know who this person is. We ended up talking about this over the weekend. And he said that he thought it was a very good topic for me to ask. And so if I didn't mind rewording it into a question, he would appreciate it. So the question is, would you mind explaining what orbiting is and how to handle it? Would you mind explaining what orbiting is and how to handle it? So let me first talk about what it is for those of you who don't know. So most people have heard of the word ghosting, right? We know the dating term ghosting. We've heard that. We know exactly what it is. People disappear, fall off the face of the earth, whatever. Okay, so there is a new trend coming out called orbiting. What's up, Paul? First time I'm listening. Now I think I know who you're talking about. One of two come to mind. Yeah, you probably will. You probably will. Okay, so let's talk about this orbiting thing. So here is the difference between orbiting. So I'll give an example. Uh, a girl dates a guy. Well, no, let me be fair, because based off of what we're seeing statistically, it's usually the guy who does this, not the girl. So a guy's dating a girl, getting to know her or whatever. Things are going along fine or whatever. Something happens. It could be anything. It could be the guy has decided he's not really ready for a relationship. It could be that the guy has decided to go back to an ex. It could be the guy has run into another woman that he wants to sleep with, but he doesn't want to come across as a dog. It could be any reason, but something happens. So something happens on the guy's side. The guy ends up telling the girl he doesn't think they need to proceed any further. I don't think we need to move any further, or I want to be by myself, or I think that we should, just fall back and go see other people or whatever. And there's a lot of women, I didn't realize it was this big a deal till I started researching it. But for whatever reason, the guy says, we don't need to proceed down the path that we've taken. Okay? No problem. She may be disappointed, but at least he didn't ghost her, right? Right. But here's where orbiting comes in. So the guy has basically said, I no longer want to deal with you on a one-on-one level. He stops calling. He stops texting. He stops asking about her day or anything. So he, at least his actions and words are lining up. So I commend him for not being, one of these wishy-washy people. Here's where it gets jacked up, though. He's not dealing with her one-on-one. He has had access to her privately. He has had access to her, maybe he's been to her house, or maybe she's been to his house, whatever. They've had dealings offline, but now he wants to continue to deal with her on social media. He wants to continue to like posts. He wants to continue to comment. He wants to continue to give her compliments. He wants to continue to act like they're still cool, even though privately he said he was going to peace out. Now, depending on what's going on with the girl, and don't get me wrong, while my research has shown that there are more men who do this than women, there are women who do this too. So brothers, listen up, because you may have a woman who's doing this to you. The issue is that by orbiting, that person is basically doing the equivalent of keeping one foot in while already saying that they had one foot out. Let's say that the person that they have decided to disconnect from, let's say that they're still connected on social media. Let's say that that person, liked him, really thought it was going to go somewhere, and is, either disappointed or devastated, depending on how long they were together, depending on whatever. But they're disappointed or devastated. So this person is trying to move forward. Maybe they have unfollowed the individual but not blocked them. Maybe they have muted them if they're on a different social media that doesn't allow unfollows. They could have done a lot of different things because they're just trying to get their head straight. I mean, I liked him, I liked her, but I'm not going to chase anybody. I'm not going to beg anybody to stick around. So I just got to move on and just trust that whatever's meant to happen is going to happen. But see, there's still a process that person has to follow. This is why I'm so big on no contact. One of the biggest reasons I'm such a huge fan and supporter of no contact is you have to give yourself time to press the reset button. You have to give yourself time to start, even if you want to look at this person at all, you have to give yourself time to see them in a different way than you were seeing them. If you were seeing them as a potential partner, if you were seeing them as your potential mate, if it felt like you were just on the verge of things becoming official and then that was taken away, you have to give yourself time to start seeing them a different way. And it may not be easy, and it may not be because you want to see them that way, but it's because in the realm of maturity, it's what's best. Why stay hung up on somebody who said no, right? So in the process of you trying to give yourself some breathing room, They continue to tug at the part of you that wants them by continuing to reach out to you on social media. Now, keep in mind what I just said. They're reaching out on social media. They've still stopped texting you. They've still stopped calling. They've done all of the things offline that line up with what they said. I don't want to move further with you. All of that is lining up, but they still want to poke that social media button to keep your interest. Why do they want to keep your interest? I have no damn idea. Maybe they decided that they made a mistake, but they're trying to see how they can get back in because they know that they may have messed up with you. Maybe whoever it was that they were secretly leaving you for dumped their ass, so now they're trying to slither back in like you a damn plan B. I don't know the reason. What I care about most is what that orbiting is doing to the person who's trying to get over the situation. And what it does is prolong it or prevent it from ever happening. That person stays on the hook. And the reason more men do this than women is because what will women do if we really like a guy, right? And is moving forward, and then for whatever reason he stops it, but then he starts reaching out. Men aren't going to do this. Women will do a screenshot. Most women, I don't do this shit. You'll do a screenshot. You'll send it to a friend. Wait, I mean, he just said he didn't want this, but then he just said this. You know, what does it mean? What does it? We get stuck in that what does it mean loop. What does it mean? What does it mean? What is it? And that's the loop he wants you to stay in. Now, am I saying that he's doing this am I saying that he's aware that he's doing this? Sometimes not. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're not. There's no way to really tell. Again, all I care about is what the action is doing to the person who's trying to get over the situation. So now instead of this person, getting over them, having their good cry, having their moments of loneliness, wishing things had turned out better, maybe a few days of anger, instead of going through the healing process keeps getting stopped every time they see that person's name. John Doe has commented on your post. John Doe reacted to this post. John Doe sent the person who didn't want it to be over can very easily get stuck in the what ifs surrounding this behavior. Okay. What's up, Tate? Good to see you. Paul says proof positive that social media is overrated and become too ingrained in how we do social. I could not agree with you more. Nikita says, well, even a plan B has an expiration date in real life. That part, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. I like how you did that. So the person who is trying to get over the disappointment of it not going the way that they thought it would go with this person who has ended it, their healing is now being held up because this person won't leave them alone on social media. So if you followed me for any length of time, you already know how I'm going to tell you to handle this. You block their asses. Block them. Here's the deal. You don't have to be mad at a person to block them. They don't have to have done it. There's no requirement that they do something so unforgivable that you get rid of them. Blocking is supposed to be about you. It's not supposed to be about them. If you're doing it for them, then you're somewhat manipulating and trying to control. Blocking is 100% of the time supposed to be about you. Your needs, what you need to grow, what you need to heal, what you need to move forward. And if that behavior is allowing you to move closer to what you want, or if it is impeding your progress, it's got to stay about you. It can't be about them. So you don't have to be mad at them. You don't have to be hateful. There doesn't have to be unforgiveness or hatred or bitterness in your heart. It has to be a simple decision. I need to get over this person. I need to get over where I thought this was going to go. And as long as they continue to reach out, even if it's every other day or once a week or twice a month, because I didn't want it to end, I may continue to think that there is some hope there, and hope will hold you hostage if you let it. So when the person made the decision to walk away, sis, bro, if you're hearing some things that might be happening with you, it's a very simple decision. They opted out. make them walk the shit out. They opted out, so make them walk it out. You don't want to be in my life privately. There's no need for you to continue to act like we're cool on social media. Maybe I'll unblock you in a little bit. Maybe I only need a week or a day or 2 weeks or 2 years, whatever. But I'm going to take the time I need to get over the situation that you decided you didn't want to see continue. That's not bitterness. That's you doing what you need to do for you. I mean, the alternative is to sit around and, start looking forward to him sending another. Oh, is he going to respond to this? Is he going to respond to this? Oh, he responded. What did he say? I mean, you can do that. Just keep in mind, the brother said he didn't want to move forward. So what you're doing is building hope in a dead place. Meaning you're not going to get what you wanted, because when you were dating him, you were getting what you wanted. Y'all were talking about moving forward. Y'all talking about relationships. Y'all were googly eyes and all that other stuff, right? Well, he stopped that shit. So at the moment that he stopped that shit, unless he comes back and says he wants to see if you'd be willing to resume that shit, you are now putting hope in dead shit because he killed it. So rather than put hope in dead places, cut it off. It doesn't matter if the person is doing it. And that's what we have to do as women. We got to stop letting why keep us bound to people who have already exhibited behavior that we know we don't want in our life just because we like them. It doesn't matter if maybe they're reaching out because they realize they miss me. Okay, then they can tell you that they miss you. Well, maybe they're doing that because they realize that they made a mistake, or maybe they got scared and now they realize that they were just operating out of fear and they don't know how to talk to me. Okay, that's cool, but they need to figure it the fuck out. Stop giving passes. The same person who made it so easy the same person who found it so easy to say, listen, I don't think we need to continue. That same person can tuck his tail between his legs, tuck her tail between her legs, come back and say to you privately, I made a mistake. I was going through this. I had that going on. I thought I was feeling this way, but the minute I did it, I knew I made a mistake. I miss you. I want to be with you. Can we at least start over? Y'all, they can say those words. They can. Stop giving them passes. The same way they use that mouth to hurt your feelings and disappoint you, you better damn well know that they can still use those same lips to say they fucked up. And if they can't use those same lips to say that they fucked up, why would you even want to deal with them on a relationship level? Because they're also showing you at the beginning that they don't know how to apologize. You want to deal with somebody that don't know how to say I'm sorry? Like, where's the communication in that? How do you build off of that? So if you have someone who is orbiting you, block them. You don't have to be mad. It just has to be a simple, I need to press the reset button on where I thought this was going to go. And by this person reaching out, it slows down my progress. So I'm going to block them and all access that they have to me until I'm better. It's not about them. Stop doing this. I'm going to block them to get their attention. I'm going to block them from everything so that they have to come. Stop doing that shit. That's another game. Block them for you. Block them so that you have peace while you work through the disappointment. And then if you're over it, you decide you want to unblock them, then unblock them. That doesn't mean you have to refriend them. It just means you're like, okay, I'm in a good place now. I'm fine. I wish it had turned out differently, but it is what it is. I got to move on with life. And so there's no need for me to keep him blocked or keep her blocked because, it is what it is. So do it for you. But don't let people continue to have one foot in your life and one foot out. It's not fair. It's selfish of them, whether they realize it or not. It's selfish of them and it's unfair to you. Khalees says the block is for your peace of mind. It is. That's the only reason. Stop listening to these gurus and these other people who say, well, if you really want his attention, you block him. Block him for 30 days. Block him for 60 days. No, you playing games. And please don't think that the same way there's not a guru on Google telling you to block him. Please stop thinking that there's not another guru on Google telling him what you doing and how to basically cancel it out. Like, stop the game shit. Stop it. You play games, but you say you want a relationship with honesty. Like, those two things don't go together. Blocking is supposed to be for you. Only for you. No one but you. Not to get anybody back, not to prove a point, not to control a situation. It's simply supposed to be for you. Nikita says, now walk it out. Walk it out. I'm hearing the song in my head. Peace and blessings. Maya, thank you so much for tuning in. Paul says, figure it the fuck out. I'm just saying, figure it the fuck out. Khalees says, those passes are like selling yourself selling yourself a dream. Sis, I know he was probably amazing. I know he was probably your height, your build. I know he may have looked the way you wanted him to look and talked the way you wanted him to talk and held you the way you like to be held and talked to you the way. I know that you were settling in and saying, this man has got to be mine. And then he said for whatever reason that he was moving on. I know that hurt. I know it was disappointing. I know you don't understand. I know you felt like the connection was on both sides. I get all that. But you have to understand that people just are where the fuck they are. Sometimes people, I'm not even going to say it's just men because that's not fair. Sometimes people will pursue something before, and because they haven't had it before. They pursue and pursue and pursue, and they've gotten used to the pursuit because they end up pursuing, and what they're really looking for never really materializes. So they have forgotten what it's supposed to look like when they actually catch what they want. And that wants them back. You could be dealing with people, there's a chance he just got so used to pursuing, or she just got so used to being pursued that when they realize you might be legit, wait, shit, I'm really not ready. I thought I was, but I'm not. And I know it hurts. And it's not fair, and you hate being on the receiving end of shit like that. But don't stay on the receiving end of shit like that by continuing to let this person play with you on social media, making you think that there's something there. Stop waiting for a phone call that you don't have to wait for. He can just fucking call. Stop waiting for an email that you're waiting to come. He can just fucking email you. He doesn't have to reach out to you on social media. The same way he ended things privately, his ass can come right back around and try to fix it privately. You got to know that you're worth that, though. You've got to know that you're worth that. No one can do that for you. So when you know you're trying to move forward and you got this person who's doing things intentionally or not that are not allowing you to move forward, you got to cut it. Disconnect it until you're better, sis. Disconnect it until you're better. Tate says Allison's block game is better than... Shut up, Tate. What's up, D-Mo? Bad Squad in the house. Nikita says, okay. And Maya says that part. That is my opinion. I can't even say it's an opinion. I do believe that it's the best thing. I understand that there will be people who don't agree. I understand that. But I don't see the point in trying to prove that you're mature by continuing to engage with someone when you realize, hey, I really like them. And I really wanted this to go somewhere. And they said that they didn't. And as much as I still like the idea that I still have some access to them, it's not the access I wanted. It's not even the access that they initially offered me. So I don't want to be demoted. I'd rather just resign. That's all I'm saying. Stop accepting demotions for the sake of showing you're mature. Some of y'all are maturing yourselves into being comfortable with rejection. And that's why people who really want you can't keep you, because you don't know what the fuck to do when somebody says, hey, I'm not going anywhere. You who the hell I want, and I'm going to stick around. Y'all don't know how to handle that because you've made friends with all of these people who have rejected your asses, and you don't know how to stop making friends with rejection. You can do it later, but you are not required to be friends with someone who dumped you or ended things or preemptively or prematurely stopped a progression 2 days ago. Not a requirement. Please stop listening to people who tell you that it is. Nikita says, you need to cut it. I keep hearing these songs in my head. Now you got them in my head, sis. All right, so thank you guys so much. All right, so let's wrap up with the last question. Okay, now this one is, it's a doozy, so it is what it is. This one is by email. Hi, Allison Denise. I'm in a huge dilemma. So I'm engaged to a good man, but he doesn't satisfy me sexually. I need penetration, and he's too small. He's tried everything, but it's not enough for me. I started sleeping with his best friend a few months ago. He knows I love my fiance and knows my fiance loves me too. So he has suggested us telling my fiance what we're doing and asking if he'd be okay with me just having intercourse with his best friend and nothing more. I think he should be okay with it since it's someone he knows. Am I wrong? I'm going to read that one again. I'm not going to read that again. I'm not going to do it. Oh, my Lord. Yeah. So he's a good man. He's a good man. Y'all are going to get married. But he's too small. And you're one of the women who need penetration. So you decided to get what you needed by going to his best friend who knows what it is. And it said, hey, I love him. You love him. I know he loves you. I know you love him. So let me just be the place that you get the penetration from. And y'all can, have all that other marriage and relationship stuff. You really want to go and talk to him about this, and you feel that he should be okay because it's someone he knows. Okay, sis. So let's flip this for a minute. Let's say that this good man, who I'm really picking up, is just a good man because apparently he's probably a provider. Probably makes you, you don't have to work. He takes care of all the bills. That's what makes him such a good man. Okay, I'm just picking up on that. I could be wrong. I don't think I am. So let's just say this good man who is still doing all the stuff for you that he's doing. Let's just say that he prefers being inside a woman and he prefers it being tight. And let's just say you've had 7 or 8 kids and what he's, let's just say that, there's some wall issues. Let's just say there's some wall issues. Doesn't happen with everybody, but we're not going to sit here and act like it doesn't happen with anybody. So let's just say your walls are gone. So he comes and tells you, you're a really good woman and I still want to marry you. But your best friend, like she's only had 1 kid. And so when, she can clamp down on my dick, that muscle that you don't have, she can do it like you can't. So I just want to be able to stick it in her. But I'm going to do everything else with you. But I want to stick it in her because she got walls and I like the way her walls feel. I want you to tell me how you would feel about that. You don't have to tell me because I already know. So why the hell do you think he's supposed to be okay with it when you would not be okay with it? Like, how fucking selfish are you? So you want to go ahead and I'm sure the man understands that he may not be working with a lot. I get that. He may also be overcompensating by doing too much for you financially. And I wish I could talk to this brother. I wish I knew who he was so I could tell him to stop that shit. Moving forward, you've decided that what you've done is decide that you want to have your cake and eat it too. You're doing what a multitude of people are doing in the dating world right now. We're walking around so selfish, so hurt, so jaded, so cynical, and so disappointed that we've just decided that we're just going to build a damn relationship. And in your case, you've decided that you want to build a man. I want his wallet and his heart and his generosity. And I want him to continue to be the one to take care of my hair and my nails and make sure I don't have to work and take me on trips and buy me cars. I want that. But then I want his dick. And I think that's fair. I think that's fine. It's not fine. Your ass is selfish. You are fucking selfish. You're selfish. You're also kind of nasty, if I can just be honest. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong. If you want to sleep with more than one person at a time, do you? That's not why you're nasty. I think you're nasty because this man is telling you that he don't want your ass. Like, you don't pay attention to context clues. Most men, you better hope this brother is not trying to set your ass up to, he could be using this to prove to his best friend that you ain't shit. But, you know, you've already gone too far now. But we'll just say that he's not doing that. This brother is okay just knocking you down while you stay with this other person. I need you to hear what this brother just said. Yeah, I know he said, I love my best friend, and I know he loves you, and I know you love him, but I need you to hear what he said. He don't love you. He don't love you. He don't want no obligation to you. He just wants to fuck you. Which means he has no obligation to just fuck you. So who else is he fucking? And who else are you bringing to the bedroom with your soon-to-be husband, since you fucking somebody that's clearly going to be fucking other people? You're nasty. So you're not just wrong. You're all the way wrong. You're scandalous. You're selfish. That seemed to be the theme for this particular episode. You're selfish, and you've taken, I don't know what you're listening to. I don't know what you're watching. I don't know what you have people telling you is okay. But I really need people to start, I'm not even going to say use common sense. I get it. Common sense just ain't common. I just need you to start putting yourself, like, flip the script before you do something. Like, before you go and tell this man, hey, I've been sleeping with your best friend and I don't want anything except his dick. I still want you. I just want his dick. So since it's someone you know, it's cool, right? I want you to flip that and tell me if you would be okay watching your man inside your best friend because he's already told you she got better walls. Like, would you hold her hand, sis? Would you tell him what she likes? Would you tell her what he likes? Would you sit and watch and say, oh, thank you, best friend, for making sure that he has his needs? Would you do that? I already know you wouldn't. I know I sound crazy because you sound crazy. Because this is exactly what you want this man to do. You want this man on top of whatever he's already doing. You now want him to give you a ring and a last name. This is what I don't understand. You still want this man to give you a ring and a last name, knowing that you just gonna step out. Like, have you heard of sacrifice, compromise? Have you heard of non-negotiables? Non-negotiables mean this is something that's important to me, and since I can't have it here, the relationship is over. Have you heard of that? Because it's sounding like this is a non-negotiable for you. So you always have the option to leave, which is why I think that him being a good man is financially driven. Because if the brother didn't have any money, your ass wouldn't be there. I just have a feeling. So I really want to try to do some research and figure out who the hell this guy is, but I'm going to let it go. I'm going to tell you that should you decide to go forward with this, whatever blows up in your face, you've earned it. Congratulations. Tiffany says, oh no, sis. Maya said, oh my God. Really, Khalees? Monette said, yeah, don't read that now. I'm just saying. Gregorio said, yes, Gregorio. Yeah. She actually typed those words. Like, she physically typed the words. And she put in my email address. And she pressed send. Maya says everything. No, sis. Tiffany said, just be honest and go. Just be honest and go. What the? Shut up, Tate. Let's just say she got project. You know what? Khalees says, clank, clank. I'm just saying. She acting like it's okay to say you too small, so I'm going to go over here with something bigger. Okay, well, what if he said, well, your walls are gone, so I'm going to go over here where they tighter. Like, It is. Tiffany says, until all y'all kids look look like his best friend. Oh my God. See, that's something else I hadn't even thought about. You right. But we're not ready for that. Like, we're not ready for that conversation. You laughing a little too hard. They may need a threesome at this point. Look, here's my thing though. The best friend? I know. I just can't. And I still don't see how that threesome is still even going to be a benefit, because you got two best friends. Now, one thing I know about men is men are territorial. And men, it's going to be bad enough if you cheat. But if you cheat with someone they know, I just don't see a man being like, okay, well, you know, it's kind of foul what you did, but at least it's my best friend. No, I just think his ego, that manhood button's going to be pressed. Like, you went to my boy? You went to the one who knows me? You went to the one that I have history with? And now that boy knows that I can't satisfy my woman and that you had to get him to do it? I just don't see a brother being okay with that. I could be wrong. I just don't see a brother, you know, signing up. Oh, let me sign up for this shit. Let me sign up for my best friend to satisfy my woman better than I can. I don't see it happening. What's up, Michael? Thank you. Khalees says, and he may be doing her out of jealousy of his best friend. That's true too. If her dude is a good man, sometimes close family or friends are purposely looking for something wrong, and she gave it to the friend. I 100% agree. She's not thinking. If this dude is really, really his best friend, like, it's wrong on both sides. Because think about it. If he's really his best friend, he could use this and say, I told you she won't shit. I've been dealing with her for a few months now. I told you she won't shit. So don't marry her. But here's the other thing. If he's good with it, and if the best friend is cool with it, then what the hell have they done together before they met you, sis? Hey, but that's on you. Like, this is what you want. So, you know, live your life. What's up, Michael? Can I say something? Yes, sir. You can definitely say something. So, I don't even know what to say. Tiffany says she is thinking about her damn self. Like, that's she is only thinking about how this is going to be a win-win for her. And she doesn't understand all the several landmines she's just set up for herself. That's what I was thinking. Right. Like, if they cool with this is something that they do. So are you really his soon-to-be wife? Or are you just going to be the next hoe who gets the last name? I mean, it is what it is, though. So I'm going to wait a couple minutes, see if Michael is still here to put what he wants to say. I don't even know what else to add to that. Like, how do you feel like that's good? How do you feel like that's a solution? I would really love to pick her brain and figure out what process she came to that said doing this will be a good idea for everybody. I would just love to know. I would love to know. Nikita said, "There's men out here like that." There are. Nana says, "Lil wig in control." I keep forgetting you call it a little wig. I can't. Mine says, "Wow, that's deep." I'm just saying, you can't mess with those best friends. You don't know what kind of best friends they are. You don't know what kind of bond they have. For all you know, you could have been set up. For all you know, your fiance went to your boy and said, "Hey, I know you packing." I would hope they wouldn't have that type of conversation, but I'm just go with me. "I know you packing. Let me see if she'll, take the bait." I mean, you got to watch them best friend situations. Like, they could really be clowning you behind your back. They could be setting you up. Girl, they could be setting you up to be embarrassed at the wedding. Like, your fiance may be planning to go all the way through with the ceremony, and then when they get to the vows, embarrass you in front of everybody. Like, you don't know what you setting yourself up for. Like, you have no clue. Gregorio says, you making her famous. She got her 5 minutes. Well, this is the last question. It's the last question. And I'm not trying to make her famous. This is more about this brother. I'm trying to put out everything that I'm thinking about. So if there's any chance somebody watches this that knows him, they can go back and say, bro. Nikita said, yep, and he might be smashing someone else too. Very true. Tiffany says he dodged a bullet. He should thank God he's going to find out before he put a stamp on that that damaged package. Oh my God. And that friend will be gone too. Michael says, take value in yourself. What you pick and choose is on you. It's simple. Most don't think. Who are you? What do you want? My live you ate so right on most of what you say. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think this is a situation of value. Not this last question. If you're talking about a different one, then, let me know. But I don't pick up that this woman has an issue with her value. I pick up, if anything, she has overvalued herself and feels entitled to be able to come up with this solution. And that is what the problem is. That's the way I'm looking at it. All right. So now that Michael has commented, I believe we are done. Yes, I am done. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this nighttime episode of the Allison Denise podcast. I don't know if I'm going to go back to nights or not. As of now, I'm still going to, plan to be back next week at 2:00, but we'll look at the numbers. We'll see what happens. But I thank you guys so much for rolling with me tonight. Please, please, please come back to my page at 9:00 tonight so that you can tune in to TMI with Tate, the news edition. I came on early tonight so that I would not overlap my brother. I'll have his podcast shared from my page. So if you are not friends with him, but you are friends with me, please feel free to come back at 9:00 and we can watch him together. Until next week, thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. Let me make sure I'm looking at all comments. Of course she does. Nikita says she can't ask no more questions. She can't. Look, I wrote down her email address, like, for real, because I want to match up her email address in case she comes back and tells me what happened after the fact. I want to know if there's a part 2 to this. Chris says, great show. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. I'm calling. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I'm going back to packing. I love you. I'll be back next week. Peace.